Hey guys, it's John again from FishYacker.com. We're trying a new format now. We're going to be bringing people onto the videos, talking to them, finding out what's going on in their neck of the woods, kind of learning from each other, sharing ideas. Today, for the first time we've been trying this out, I'm really excited to have my good friend Paul Hansen here. He's one of my teammates with Johnson Outdoors, which is Old Town Ocean Kayak in Necky, and the Temple Fork Outfitters pro staff. He's in the Great White North in Minnesota, so let's meet Paul Hansen. Hey, Paul, thanks for coming on. You're the first time we've ever actually tried this format with anybody. Again, Paul and I, we're on a couple of different pro staffs together. We've kind of been following each other online for years. Paul, tell everybody a little about who you are, what you do, and how you got into the sport.
Hey, John, it's great to be on, and it's great to see you. Well, being a Minnesota boy, our season is kind of limited, but we are the land of 10,000 plus lakes. And I've been a guide for about 20 years, rowing a drift boat and being involved with Temple Fork Outfitters and being in the fly fishing industry for, holy buckets, 25, 26 years now. So it's been a long time. Kayaking kind of came about where I live on the Mississippi north of Minneapolis, and no, we don't have nuclear water and we don't have barges and all that stuff. We have this really great pristine water up there that's just chock full of smallmouth, and so really blessed to have that. Well, our water kind of fluctuates at times if we don't get a lot of snow. So I was able to try out a Freedom Hawk kayak, and I was really, really amazed at how much water I could reach that I normally couldn't reach with a drift boat.
Right.
So with that said, it just kind of elevated from there, and I took kayaks down to Mexico, and we kayaked fish in the deep parts of southern Mexico on the Belizean border for snook and tarpon and stuff like that, and so it kind of just took off from there. And I was hooked up with David Haddon, who is now the product development manager over at Johnson Outdoors in Old Town, and David brought me onto the program about 4 years ago. So it's just been really, really cool to be in the Predator program. And I shouldn't say that Predator program. It doesn't sound right. I'm expecting Chris Hansen to show up and go, hi. No, that was wrong. To be part of the kayak and the Predator series boats from Johnson.
But you don't have any of the original hats that just say Predator on the top of it, right?
No, and they don't match my ankle bracelet either. So no. So, anyways, but as you and I know, the Predator series boats are just these great platforms, and you can do some really cool things with them.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the footage you put up online, the photos and stuff. I know you do a lot of tournaments. I'm from Virginia Beach originally. I grew up saltwater fishing. I mainly got into kayaks because it was a way when I was getting to more cypress tidal swamps. It was really easy way to get to them. But now I'm in Pennsylvania, and I primarily fish on the Susquehanna River for smallmouth and muskie. The waters you're on way up the river there look a lot like what we have around here with, say, Class 1 and Class 2, rapids, mild water, just flowing rivers. It just looks very pristine, a lot like what we have here.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We have that, but then we've got these great lakes. Lake Mille Lacs, which is north of us, is just this phenomenal smallmouth and walleye fishery. And then if you go up to the north, up to Lake Superior, you've got this ocean, freshwater ocean with lake trout and camaloops and steelhead, and you've got all these great options to hit, and plus all the wonderful rivers we have in the Midwest. A lot of these lakes that we have just outside the boundary waters are only accessible via, a trailer and a mountain bike or an ATV, and having the kayaks on a little trailer it just opens up the floodgates of so many opportunities.
And you're really lucky too. I mean, a lot of people see pictures of you fishing all over the place, and because your occupation. So you're kind of spoiled. I mean, I go to Tulsa and I room with you at the Bassmaster Classic, and you're like, oh, I'm like, what time are you going to fly out tomorrow? Oh, whenever I get there. So you can tell everybody a little about what you do.
Well, I'm an airline captain, and and it's kind of funny. when I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do outside of fishing, I needed something to make more money. I chose an occupation that allowed me not to work as much and optimize my time. So I became a pilot. So I fly the Airbus, and I'm all over the United States. And in fact, today I'm in, where am I? Today I am in Detroit. And yesterday I was in Kansas City, and tomorrow I'll be in Vegas and make my way back to Minneapolis tomorrow afternoon once I get to Vegas. So, but the cool thing about being a pilot is that, like you said, it allows me to go out and fish some new water anywhere from Fort Lauderdale with Kwanzaa to, let's see where else, Myrtle Beach. And, there's just so much opportunity out there if you take it. And
do you car top the boats?
Yes, yeah. We have inflated. No, that's the cool thing, because kayak fishing is getting so big, John. And as you know, you can find a rental shop, and I make a phone call and say, hey, I'm going to be in town. I'd like to rent a boat. Can you deliver it? Or are you near the water, or whatever? And being part of this whole network of other anglers, there's always somebody that wants to fish, and there's always somebody that will fish with you. So whether I'm down in Lauderdale, I can hook up with Kwanzaa, or I've got my buddy Trapper Rudd, who was living over on the west coast of Florida, and so you make the best of your layovers and enjoy that. So.
And you do a lot of tournament fishing too. I know you've kind of become a tournament guru. I mean, what are your big strategies for doing tournaments? And are you mainly fishing in tournaments near where you live, or are you trying new waters? Because I know you've done really well with the tournament so far in your kayak specifically.
Yeah. It's kind of a tricky deal. When the tournaments are on rivers, because I've been such a river angler for so many years, I can pretty much tune into it pretty quickly, and I've got my arsenal of baits that I can kind of figure if one doesn't work here, it might work at another one, and vice versa.
Yeah, I saw that you had the banjo minnow last time we were.
Yeah, absolutely, and the helicopter lure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, those are. Yeah, and the Fargan's diving Farkin, and the number 10 red chubby always works.
And before you got on with TFO, I saw some old pictures of you with the Pocket Fisherman.
I was on the pro staff for Pocket Fisherman, and there was that little incident at the Bassmaster Classic in '92, and I don't want to talk about that, but I was removed off the Pocket Fisherman pro staff. So,
sorry.
I didn't want to. You brought up a bad memory. I don't want to talk about that. It was a bad time. But because I have the time to go to a river or go to a lake and pre-fish it, because of my job, I'm able to do that. So whether I go down to Nebraska or I'm down in Illinois or Wisconsin, I've been staying pretty much in the Midwest. But this year, I plan on hitting some more tours, heading down and hit Florida possibly, and then with the deal with Chad Hoover down in Tennessee and stuff like that, I've got my eye on a few of those ones as well. But you just make the best of it, and the biggest advice people say, "Well, what's it take to get into a tournament?" And I said, "Well, don't go in pushing pressure on yourself. Go out,
right.
Have fun, get the kinks out, figure it out. It's such a stressful time, and I think it's all self-induced. But that'd be my advice."
Cool. If you had just one tip, I mean, I know you've been involved in the fishing industry in general. For someone trying to either break in to work in the industry or even to be a fishing guide, what kind of recommendations do you have for them?
Don't. No.
Get a airline license.
It's kind of like, how do you make a small fortune in the fishing industry? Start off with a large one. Now it's the great thing about the fishing industry, whether you're going to guide or you're going to work retail or you want to get into the rep side, it's such a good group of people. Everybody has got a huge heart. You're going to find people with lots of advice. and people willing to give out that advice. So my advice to someone who wants to get into this as a profession or a part-time deal is start spending time. Get a job on the retail level. If you're very basic, get a job on a retail level. Get to know, what the fishing industry is about. Try a couple years at that, then get to know the rep groups who represent these products throughout, and start asking them if they need help at trade shows. That's how you can kind of get your foot in the door. And you and I both know people that have started that way. Then they start helping out the rep groups, and suddenly a rep group needs somebody to fill a position, and they get the job that they want. I have a friend of mine who was he was an investigator for the county sheriff's department near where I live, and he was kind of burning out. And as you know, in the law enforcement industry, burnout can happen.
Right.
And he got to meet some guys, and now he's a full-time rep, and he's got awesome brands, Shimano and Engel, and a whole bunch of stuff that I can't even remember off the top of my head. But that's how you get into it. Start asking and meeting people, and I'd say don't be pushy. I mean, it's hard not to be pushy when you're excited and you want to be part of the whole deal, but just sit back. People will give you the advice and use you as they need fit.
That's good. I mean, I really want to thank you for coming on. This has been a pleasure. I mean, it's kind of cool with this new concept too, and I hope you think it's going to work. I mean, for anybody out there that wants to be on, do one of these video sessions with us, post up or, PM me or go on to Facebook or something, because I think this is kind of cool, just getting a chance to talk about, somebody's expectations for the sport or their background. What kind of closing remarks you got or comments you want to tell anybody, advice, anything like that, Paul?
Just have fun. Right now, you're at the perfect time to get into the kayak angling thing. It's an open slate. I mean, you can do whatever you want with these boats, and you can explore. And I've traveled all over the world fishing, and what these boats give you is you can build your own adventure in your own backyard. And it's I think the wave. It's a lifestyle, and it's really a cool deal to do.
And you're still guiding up there, right?
I kind of weaned off a little bit this year because with tournaments and flying, and as you know, with kids, you got soccer, baseball, curling, whatever you got going on. So there's
curling.
Yes, it's the Olympic sport. You only watch it on TV during the Olympics. I curl in the wintertime.
I'm a Southern boy, sorry.
I know. I won't hold that against you.
That's what you got, the broom, and you just...
Yep, the broom, and yeah. So, but for people that want to find out more things about kayak fishing, I have a YouTube page called Kayak Angling Pursuits, and I've got some videos on there on how to weld your own boats, if you crack them open, and just some, not as in-depth as yours or as professional as yours, John, but you've set the bar so high.
I created a monster.
You have. There's a video on it.
There's a video on it. I know we're closing out, but I know it told us it was kind of funny. When anybody would ask a question, we're like, John's got a video on it.
Yeah.
Got a video on it.
Got a video on it.
So, really want to thank you for coming again. If you're up his neck of the woods, reach out to Paul Hansen. I mean, also go check out the Adventure on the Water website for Johnson Outdoors. Click on his profile, and your friend to request him on Facebook and share his photos and everything, and send him obnoxious spam. So.
Yeah.
And if you ever fly Spirit Airlines, the guy in the front of the plane's wearing a TFO hat, it's him.
Could be.
Thanks for being on, Paul.
Thanks, John. It was a pleasure. Good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Fishyaker.com, the original kayak rigging video series.